Hey friends, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Leslie. Welcome to my kitchen and to my farm. I would love for you to hit subscribe if you are not already a subscriber, and I say welcome, and I say welcome back to all my already subscribed folks that join me every day, almost every day. Anyway, please hit the bell so you don't miss anything, and don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Today we're making a dessert, one that's not, it's pretty old-fashioned. Today we're making a shoofly pie. Okay guys, so that's right. First, let me just say, I'm sorry for my kitchen. Today Bryant and I are working on taxes and everything's a mess, and I'm cooking. So the kitchen the dishes are clean. I've got them just stacked up here, so I'll put them away in a little bit. But let's get started on the shoofly pie. And the first thing we got to do is make a pie crust. So I decided, normally I use store-bought pie crust, but you know, if I'm making an old-fashioned pie, I might as well do an old-fashioned pie crust. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so in my pan here, I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. And to that, I'm going to add in a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to take my blending fork and give that a little stir. Okay, and so to the flour, I'm going to add in a cup of shortening. A cup of shortening, and I'm going to do it in like different little places. If I can spread it out, that'll help it a little bit blend in. A whole cup of shortening. That wasn't easy getting out of the container. Really wasn't that bad. You just take a spoon. All right, I'm going to take my blending fork to start with. I don't have a pastry. I used to have a pastry knife or a pastry blender, but I really like my blending fork better. And I'm just going to cut this into that flour, pressing it up against the side of the bowl until I feel like the lard or the shortening is in little bitty pieces. I don't want any big clumps of it, but I don't want it all completely blended in either. So see how it's getting kind of clumpy looking? That's exactly what we want. All right. So to this, and now I'm going to go to my hands using my hands. To this, we're going to add in, I have 1/4 of a cup of water, 1/4 of a cup of oil, and 1/4 of a cup of milk. And we're just going to add all that in here. I just poured it all together. And I'm actually just going to go in with my hands. This is going to make actually 3 pie crust. I really only need 1 tonight because this is just a bottom crust pie. But I'm going to freeze. I'm going to wrap up the other 2, freeze it, and have it ready for the next time we decide we want a pie. It's just coming together. It's coming together perfectly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle a little flour over here on my countertop. And I'm just going to bringing this all together. You don't want to work it too much. You don't want to overwork your pie crust. But you want to try to get it all incorporated. Okay, and I'm just bringing it together because I need to cut it into thirds. So I just want to bring it, you know, make it where I can cut it evenly into thirds. Let me get my pastry cutter and I'll be right back. When you can't find a pastry cutter, you go with a pizza. All right, I'm gonna I'm gonna set these two aside. All right, let me get my rolling pin and we'll get to rolling this out. All right. And you just want to try to keep this in a round. And so I'm going to kind of bring it back in, and if it breaks on you, it's okay. That means it's going to be a good flaky crust. And I like to move mine around so it's not sticking. And if it starts to break, you just push it back together and keep going. Okay, I'll bring you back in just a minute when I have it all rolled out. Okay guys, I'm just lifting this up right here and I'm rolling it down on the pie plate. And if you have tears, like I said, don't worry about it. You can just fix them. Thank goodness I haven't got one yet, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Here a little bit's happening. All right, and you just want to fit it good into the pie plate. All right, now I'm going to take a knife, just going to lift it up and slide it down the side of the pie. Sometimes I actually just fold it over. Let me just show you how I do that. I start folding it kind of under. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm taking the excess and folding it under. So we'll have a little extra on one side. That's a lot of extra right there. Just cut that off. I like cutting it off because it just gives you a pretty, and you can just like do this to flute it. There's so many different ways you can flute it. This is probably the easiest. Taking your two fingers and on one side and then your pointer finger on the other, pushing it through. There's many different ways. I'm doing this fast because I need to get back in there and help Bryant with the taxes. I'm actually going to cut some of this excess off. It's really thick over here. This is going to be such a good flaky crust. I can just tell by the way it feels. It's going to be good and flaky. It's got all that shortening in it. All right. Okay, not beautiful, but hey, it's done. I don't do homemade pie crust an awful lot, just because I think store-bought, they have come such a long way with store-bought, so I don't stress over pie crust. But I thought I would show you how to make a quick and easy throw together pie crust. Now, I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to get all my ingredients out for the pie. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, there's 2 more layers to this pie. We have the pie crust. Actually, probably 3 more layers because, but 2 separate layers that we're going to make. So, in my bowl here, I have a cup of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to add in 3/4 cup of brown sugar. And I'll just press it against the side. And we're going to get a tablespoon. What did I do with my tablespoon? We'll get another one. I had one out. Oh, there it is. Right there beside me. Okay, here we go. And a good rounded tablespoon of shortening. We'll just put it in there with our finger. All right, and I'm gonna grab my pastry fork again, and we're just gonna blend this up. And I'm just using my finger to get into that shortening. Alright, so what I'm going to do to this is I'm going to reserve 2/3 cup of it. I'm going to take out 2/3 cup. Okay, we'll set that aside. The rest of it I'm going to sprinkle into the bottom of our pie crust. Okay? So this shoofly pie is going to have like a dry bottom layer. All right, I'm not going to use quite all of it. All right, I'm just going to kind of pat that down. All right, now we'll get started making the ooey gooey filling. Okay guys, so here we're going to make the filling, and I have in this container here 3/4 cup of hot water, and I'm grabbing my baking soda here, and I'm going to put 1 teaspoon. Oh, hang on, there was something floating. All right, 3/4 cup of hot water and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm just going to stir that around. And we'll set that aside for just a minute. Here in my batter bowl, I have 1 egg beaten. And we're going to add in, if I can get them opened, some good molasses. Now you can definitely use store-bought molasses. These just happen to have been made by some friends of ours, and they are some kind of good. So we're going to use a cup. So there goes in 1/2 cup. I need a spatula. Oh, these are so good. So good. So now we're going in with another 1/2 cup. These are so good. When I made fry bread, these molasses, when I made the fry bread, and we put honey on them, on some of them, and then we put molasses on some, and y'all, these molasses were so good. Oh my goodness. All right, there it goes. And to this, we're gonna add in our water and baking soda mixture. And we're going to give this a good whisk. We've got to get this whisked together really well. It takes a little while. Ooh, look at it growing. Did you just see it kind of grow when I whisked it? I mean, that's pretty amazing. Okay, so we're going to pour this over our dry bottom crust, or a dry bottom of, you know, in the pie crust. We're going to pour this on top and hope we have room for it. I may have to stop shy. Looks like it's sinking down just a little bit. All right. Okay, guys, I didn't quite get it all in, but that's okay. That's all right. So I'm going to take my leftover dry sprinkle, and we're going to sprinkle that over the top. This is our brown sugar and flour and lard. We're just going to sprinkle this on top of our Shoofly Pie. Now, it did not call for any vanilla, so I did not use any, but oh my goodness. And probably the vanilla would contrast a little bit with the molasses. Now, this is going to go in a 400-degree oven. 400-degree oven for 10 minutes, and then we're going to turn it down to 350 for about 30 minutes. Okay, guys, this beautiful pie is going in the oven. Okay, y'all, here is our Shoofly Pie with our beautiful homemade pie crust. Super good. Anxious to try this. Okay, y'all, here is the Shoofly Pie. Bryant and I, neither one have ever had Shoofly Pie, so we're going to see what we think about this. Okay, you ready to taste it?
All right, let's do this right here. Shoofly Pie. Look at that. The texture of the crust is great.
Oh, did y'all hear that?
The flavor is deep, rich,
It
and
is
sweet.
rich.
What?
Rich, I said rich.
What's the powdered stuff on top?
It's just a mixture of flour and brown sugar and some shortening.
Right here. I'm gonna give you a shot behind the camera there. What do you think? How's that? Huh? That good?
That's good.
Really, really good.
Coffee would be good.
Coffee would be good with this, or milk. This is a gotta try. Really good. Going in the cookbook, right?
Shoofly Pie.
Perfect.
All right, y'all heard it here. Did you say perfect?
Perfect. That's a really good one. You gotta try that one. So.
Hey guys, I'm ending this video for last night because we just got so enthralled in the cake and in the chicken pie I made that we just forgot to come on and say goodbye. Thank you for watching The Farm and Pastor's Wife. And remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all.